Lately, there's been a lot of requests for what kind of clubs I use in my bag. And today I'll be showing you guys each club that I use, breaking it down to the grip and the shaft. Most of these clubs I am fit for, but I've toyed around a lot and found out what I like specifically. When it comes to brands, I have an amalgamation of golf clubs. I'm definitely not a loyalist when it comes to a certain company. I think some brands specialize in certain pieces of equipment more than others, but for the most part, golf clubs are pretty optimized nowadays and can excel at any level. To start off this what's in the bag, I'll be showing you guys my wedges. From pitching wedge to lob wedge, I use the Mizuno T24 wedges in the denim copper color. For pitching wedge through sand wedge, I went with the S grind, which would give me that versatility for shots. And I chose V grind for the 58 for that aggressive relief. All four of the wedges came with the DG S400 shafts, super soft. Mizuno's T line of wedges have always been more aesthetically pleasing for me. They all feature that nice teardrop shape with a flat leading edge, which always gave me a lot of confidence. I've used a variety of wedges from Titleist to TaylorMade to Cleveland, but I always seem to come back to Mizuno's. In my opinion for wedges, Mizuno's have always had that pillowy soft feel, and the longevity of the grooves is a little bit better than most. And for me personally, the denim copper in these wedges is just absolutely beautiful. They even have an anti-glare effect, which is an added bonus. Up next for my irons, I'm rocking the Tacoma 301 MBs, 4-iron through 9-iron. Got those oversized grips on them, which is a trend that you're going to see because I have slightly big hands. In no manner am I sponsored by Tacoma, but I do have a lot of good things to say about these golf clubs. What really enticed me to get these golf clubs was the price point. For under $1,000, you can get them spec'd to how you like and shipped to your house. This is kind of unheard of, and I was very skeptical buying these until I got to hit them and play with them for myself. And at this point, I don't really see them coming out of the bag at any time soon. I chose the 301 MBs because I wanted a club that was as minimalistic as possible and avoided hot shots. I noticed that if I use cavity backs or cast clubs, I can tend to get a lot more flyers than usual. The thin, sleek look of these blades makes the ball look large and gives me a lot of confidence when I'm setting up. Definitely give these a try if you haven't done it yet. Now we've made it to my favorite club. My love, my liege, the one that's always got my back, the 2-iron. Slapped on a Golf Pride CP2 Pro Grip, mid-size plus 3 wraps, and this thing is just a work of art. The Money Taper 120 shaft definitely sets this thing up a little bit more like a cannon. I've messed around and tried to put in lighter, spinnier shafts for more versatility, but I always find that I play a 2-iron best when it's set up firm. If the driver's not working for the day, I can always rely on the 2-iron backing me up. I can comfortably hit it and shape it from 230 yards to 270 yards. And with Japan being as tight as it is, the golf courses aren't that long, so this is a weapon off the tee. If I'm looking to keep a ball in play, this club is 100% being used. Now we're going to be getting to the more experimental side of my bag. Here I've got a Titleist TSR2 3-wood and a TaylorMade Sim 2 5-wood. These two guys interchange very frequently depending on the golf course that I'm playing and the conditions. I only recently picked up this golf club in a secondhand shop while in Japan. It was $100 and it came with a super sick Japan TaylorMade Tensei shaft. I'd never seen it anywhere else and I was super intrigued. One thing that I want you guys to notice about these two golf clubs specifically is that they are set up with only stiff flex shafts. My driver club head speed gets over 120 miles an hour, so a lot of people would think that these aren't set up correctly for me. I set up these golf clubs specifically this way for 2 reasons. One of those reasons being that having the extra spin with the shafts makes it a lot easier for me to move the ball around. When I was using 3-woods and 5-woods with X-stiff shafts, they would just barrel and go as straight as possible with a lot of distance, but that's not what I'm looking for. And this also leads to the second reason where when the woods would have those X-stiff shafts, they were flying way too far. Having a 3-wood fly 300 yards was giving no utility to my bag whatsoever. And given that if I'm not hitting driver, I'm most likely going to use a 2-iron, I had a little bit of creative space for these woods. With all of that being said, I do believe that it's super important to be fitted correctly for your golf clubs. But if you have a good grasp between the club physics and what happens to the golf ball, I think you should experiment and see what works best for you. One interesting that I've noticed is that in America, I would rarely ever have to use a 3 or 5 wood off the tee. But being in Japan, they love their dog legs and complex hole structures. On to the big dog now. I use a Titleist TSR3 set up at 9 degrees of loft. But again, this club breaks the normal laws of club fitting. This driver is sliced up to be playing at 43.5 inches, which is roughly, I'd say, 1.5 to 2 inches shorter than standard. I don't want to give the full secrets behind why I did this, but it's just best optimized for my game. It has this Project X Evenflow T1100 65 gram 6.5X shaft. What a mouthful. Something about Titleist woods and the way that they sit down on the ball is just so enriching. That nice glossy finish gives you that clear look into your demons before you make a swing. This shot that I'm about to hit right here is my favorite, and honestly the most consistent and repeatable flight that I have with this club. I use it about 95% of the time when I'm hitting driver. It's a bullet cut that carries about 280 yards, and depending on the conditions can roll out to 320 or 330. I have no issues hitting the ball higher and maximizing my carry distance. But I've found that with my speed, it's much easier for me to get the ball on the ground fast and get it in play. And finally, the money maker, the thing that determines if my career is successful or not. It's a Scotty Cameron Select Newport 2, notchback dual balance, and I slammed in some 20-gram weights in there. It's playing at about 33 inches, so it's real short and heavy. When I putt, I like to keep my hands low, and the heavy weight of the putter mitigates the usage of my wrist during the putting stroke. I've had this putter in my bag for about 8 years, since my freshman year of college, and I like to take good care of it. It's rolled very consistently for me, and I don't see it leaving my bag anytime soon. That is going to be the complete breakdown of what clubs I use in my golf bag. Feel free to comment below about any questions you guys might have about the equipment. And if there are any other types of content that you guys want to see, feel free to request down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.